Welcome to the Curriculum Unit Induction. This induction aims to discuss the framework and structure of the ELSD program, the different tracks PY students originate from, the grouping of students according to their proficiency level, the level system and course progression, curriculum documents and processes, and other academic support. First, an overview of the King Saud University Preparatory Year Deanship. The King Saud University Preparatory Year, or KSUPY, is a one-year foundation program that aims to bridge the gap between the Saudi high school educational structure and the requirements of King Saud University's undergraduate programs. The deanship consists of 4 programs, of which the English Language Skills Department was created with the primary mission of supporting the overall goals of the KSUPY in using English as a medium of instruction for all degree levels. To achieve this, the ELSD aims to equip learners with academic English language skills required to succeed in their undergraduate studies. ELSD learners receive high-quality intensive instruction that effectively integrates pedagogic theory and praxis, relevant content, and innovative technology, creating a community of active, competent, and autonomous learners. An important step towards realizing KSU's vision of being a world-class university and a leader in building a knowledge society is the establishment of the curriculum unit within the KSUPY, envisioned to be responsible for the development of the English Language Skills Department's curriculum framework. The unit is headed by a curriculum manager from the male campus, who delegates tasks to a small group of coordinators based on each campus, who are then supported by a team of lead teachers. In order to achieve a viable and competent academic setting, the curriculum unit has adopted a 5-pronged approach: planning, development, implementation, monitoring, and review of the curriculum framework. These approaches are defined by different activities that ultimately recognize the primary goal of ensuring that PY students have the ability to operate in an academic environment where the medium of instruction may include an English component. And here's an in-depth look at the different activities that define these approaches. Let's first take a look at the different activities involved in the planning stages. Students at the Preparatory Year Deanship are categorized into 3 main tracks. The Humanities track consists of students who, upon completing the preparatory year, are enrolled in humanities-related courses as listed. Meanwhile, science and engineering students may enroll on the following courses upon graduating from the PY. The medical track consists of students who plan to enroll in the following different degree programs in the health colleges. An essential part of planning the curriculum framework is having a well-structured academic year. The foundation program consists of 1 academic year, which is divided into 2 semesters, with a semester consisting of 2 quarterly periods, and with a quarter spanning approximately over 2 months. This is arranged as such in order to streamline the learning outcomes and assessment targets of each course per quarter. The majority of students enrolled at the PY have low competency English skills, although a handful may be proficient. Particularly referring to Category C students, learners are generally identified as either absolute or false beginners. Therefore, English courses offered in Semester 1 focus on General English, which are designed to improve learners' fluency in effectively communicating in real-life situations. Students progress to English for academic purposes in Semester 2, with the exception of health colleges and science Category C students, who are required to complete courses that focus on a combination of English for academic and English for specific purposes. The cornerstone of these courses is defined by the instruction of skills required to perform effectively in an English-speaking academic context across core subjects, generally encountered in a university setting. The preparatory year is a requirement for all students who want to pursue undergraduate studies in Saudi Arabia. Because of this, the PY Students' Buddy has varied competency levels. These students are required to take a placement test upon enrollment in order to categorize them into the following proficiency levels, whereby each track and category undertakes specified courses that address their specific needs. Depending on their proficiency category, students are required to complete different study hours within an academic year. The Common European Framework of Reference, or CFR, requires varied guided learning hours in order to progress from one competency level to the next. Using the CFR and equals as benchmarks, the LSD has reduced the credit hours across all tracks, requiring Category A students to study 250 hours per semester, Category B students 200 hours per semester, and Category C students will now be required 130 hours for each semester. An initiative to reduce PY students' required contact hours in order to facilitate a more focused learning is outlined as follows. The goals of the reduction in hours are to provide additional challenge to Category C students by reducing their required contact hours while maintaining a challenging syllabi, and to maximize learning opportunities by aiming to cover all the contents of assigned course materials. The curriculum unit carefully takes into consideration students' available contact hours in its planning stages, ensuring that other classroom activities are accounted for and considered in the syllabi development. And now we'll look at the different activities involved in the development stage. In a drive to develop a skills-centric curriculum framework, target learning outcomes have been set for each course on a quarterly basis. These learning outcomes were benchmarked according to the Common European Framework, or CFR, and have been adjusted and calibrated to address the unique and specific needs of PY students. Complementary to the CFR's 6 proficiency level approach, the KSUPY LSD levels have made way for plus proficiency levels in order to provide sufficient time for students to absorb language targets in each level. Each of the 8 proficiency levels has a set of learning outcomes as illustrative descriptors by skill: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. It is intended for students to have achieved the target learning outcomes by the time that they complete a course within a quarter, before proceeding to the next level of their course with its different set of learning outcomes. As a form of academic support, we provide the following curriculum documents to teachers in order for them to fully understand the goals, objectives, and targets of the different English courses. First is the Curriculum Framework Description, which provides an overview of the English Skills Department's curriculum framework, components, and processes. Next are course descriptions, which have an overview of the different courses in the PY, students' progression by track, and materials covered in the courses. Third is a Learning Outcomes document, which contains level-specific aims, objectives, and learning outcomes organized by skill. We also provide pacing schedules, which have information about the content from the course books and course materials to be covered in each week of a quarter, as well as cultural sensitivity guidance specific to the material that you are teaching. Another is the Activity Alignment document, which demonstrates how the coursebook exercises and activities, when exploited, can assist in realizing specific outcomes. We also provide the General Cultural Sensitivity Guide, which have general guidance on topics that are not suitable for classroom discussion or for use as part of supplementary materials preparation. And finally, we provide catch-up plans, which guide teachers to the particular exercises in the textbooks to skip in order to catch up with the pacing schedule. These curriculum documents are provided for every course in each quarter. A notification email will be sent once these documents have been made available on the ELSD portal for download. And here's a look at the different activities involved in the implementation stage. Each track by category and course has set materials to be covered for each quarter. These are a series of general English textbooks that may be supported by all or some of the following ancillary materials: workbooks, teacher's manuals, iTools, and online components or learning management systems for Semester 1. Semester 2 introduces English for Academic Purposes textbooks and English for Specific Purposes textbooks that are also supported by their own relevant ancillary materials. Note that some textbook series may not have some of the materials that are listed. The curriculum unit also organizes and develops a combination of curricular and extracurricular related activities and supplementary materials that are aimed to support students not only in preparing them for their exams, but also in maximizing their learning experience in the PY. The following are some, but are not the exhaustive list of all the supplementary materials and activities that we develop and organize. First are the IELTS preparation courses. These are organized classes that help students prepare for the IELTS exams. The English clinics are organized classes that assist students in improving their writing skills. Exam preparation courses are classes that assist students in preparing for the PY midterms and final exams. Elective courses, meanwhile, are classes that are aimed to maximize students' learning experience in the PY. Revision materials are supplementary materials given as practice or revision exercises. And the grammar learning outcomes references, which are supplementary materials on various grammar LOs that are likely to be tested during the exams. And now look at the different activities involved as the unit monitors academic progress. The curriculum unit uses a combination of online and manual audits, as well as textbook checks, to monitor each section's progress in covering their set course materials. These activities intend to identify sections that are not keeping up with the pacing schedule and to provide support to teachers where necessary. Teachers whose classes are identified as either significantly ahead or behind the pacing schedule are provided the needed support, such as face-to-face consultations or in the form of catch-up plans. In an attempt to keep up to date with current pedagogical developments, the unit also periodically reviews the framework. The curriculum unit adopts a number of review processes to ensure that the curriculum framework, course materials, and documents provided to teachers and students alike remain relevant and effective. These processes come in the form of textbook selection, in-use textbook evaluation, focus groups, surveys, and researches. Keeping all of the unit's core values and approaches in mind, instructors are encouraged to maximize students' learning experience through the exhaustive use of course materials, curriculum documents, and other ancillary activities. Moreover, instructors are requested to demonstrate sensitivity to the cultural and religious background of Saudi students. Before we conclude this presentation, we'd like to invite you to contribute to our unit by responding to our announcements when we arrange for extracurricular courses, or by filling out the curriculum proposal form as shown, detailing an innovative proposal that may improve our procedures or processes. This document can be downloaded from the ELSD portal. We hope that this induction has assisted you in understanding the requirements and expectations of the ELSD-PY and the curriculum unit in particular. We welcome you to the King Saud Preparatory Year Deanship, and we wish you a fruitful new academic year. If you have any questions or concerns, please consult the curriculum team based in your campus.